For a day in my life on my integrative medicine rotation in medical school. So we start the day with mindfulness meditation and then begin class. We're learning about spices and how to incorporate them into foods to make them more nutritious. We then made a group lunch together that was extremely nutrient dense, delicious, and colorful. We then saw a comprehensive patient interview for 2 hours and ended the day with acupuncture.
Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is a gluten-free pasta salad with chickpea pasta, green goddess dressing, homemade, and just a bunch of greens.
My goodness.
This is a Mediterranean salad with cucumber, tomato, red onion, air-fried chickpeas, olive oil, lemon juice, and feta.
Here are some rainbow roasted carrots. The purple ones have more nutrients, as we learned. And they're baked in olive oil.
So I went off the 80-20 rule and I made chocolate chip pumpkin muffins. It got a little mashed on the way here, but they're from Trader Joe's, so they're not the healthiest, but they're in spirit of fall and taste.
Serotonin boost.
Yeah.
And I made some cinnamon roasted honey chickpeas that was inspired by our anti-inflammatory presentation.
And I made a pecan pie dessert dip with a Greek yogurt base, dates, vanilla, pumpkin spice, and almond milk, and then just some maple syrup.
Gosh. Perfect. So do you dip the apples in there?
Yes.
Wow. Fabulous. And my husband made the
Empanadas.
none of which are healthy, but they're very tasty.
Perfect.
So you
self-care mind map. To start, we had 3 main branches. So we have body, mind, and spirit. Pretty similar to the health mind map that we did earlier, which I thought was interesting. So now you guys can take it away.
Okay, so first on the bottom we have the mind category, and there was a lot of overlaps, but the main categories that we broke that up into were community, writing, and relaxing. In the community we found a lot of overlap with spirit, but looking at friends, families, relationships, neighbors, and then a big part of community is also talking, which overlaps with therapy, also in the writing category. And then with writing we also have journaling, story writing, reflection. And then in the relaxing category, we have things like bubble baths, essential oils, meditation, gua sha, music, reading, even mind mapping. And then with on the overlap with body, we also have cooking, and that also with mind and body, sleep is another important one.
And then for body, we had the main ones as exercise, nourishment, touch, and skincare was a minor main one. There's some overlap between body and mind with, again, the nourishment and the sleep and the gua. But for touch, we had acupuncture, acupressure, massage, gua sha, skincare, separate, nourishment. We had having a variety, having taste, having herbs and spices, cooking for yourself. And then for exercise, we had qigong, yoga, physical therapy, that could be the myofascial release as well, sports, tai chi, and then we also had stretching.
So did you talk about spirit?
No.
And then for the last component, we talked about spirit, the importance of the use of things like rituals and prayer, and then connecting with nature, and also developing that sense of faith, and how that plays out in our belief system in terms of self-care.
Perfect. You guys.
Alright, so we did, for self-care, we divided it into body, spirit, put sleep in between spirit and mind, and then nutrition and community were kind of our big branches.
And then we further broke it down, so coming down to the body, we kind of broke it down with movement and energy points. And for the energy points, we spoke about acupuncture and acupressure, which can be a daily self-care act. And then from acupressure, we connected it to gua sha as well, which we had a lot of connections. We also put qi, so Qigong, Reiki, Tai Chi. And for movement, we did yoga, grounding, cardio, and just being in nature.
And then we also kind of connected that into sexual well-being, like we were talking about earlier today. And then within that, talked about having good hormonal balance, being in loving relationships, having fun with your relationships. And then also kind of connected to that is community. And then within community, we talked about having good friendships, support groups, feeling a sense of community within your neighborhood, reciprocity, appreciating Earth's gifts, and then
Integrative med squad.
the integrative medicine community, and being connected to your family as well.
Then we have nutrition as well. That can also be connected to body, but Alyssa wrote Eat the Rainbow, which is something we liked taking away from last week. And then mind, obviously connected with spirit and with sleep, but for that we have affirmations, we have meditation like we've been doing every day, education and just being a lifelong learner, mindfulness practices, and then gratitude as well.
And then lastly, for
spirit,
we also added a prayer component for whatever practice of faith you may have, a religious practice, and then kind of connected to community again is that connection to nature.
Great.
And then the next time you come back to this midpoint, complete that
See if you can become aware of your breath in this pose, moving up and down the spine. Feel a sense of the chest opening in this pose. This is Baddha Konasana, down ankle pose. It's a good chest opener, and support to the back.
integrative healthcare. So to start with what we already knew going into this, just the Western conventional model, including medication, surgeries, acute care, and even some psychiatry and psychology. Then we also mentioned community, and under this section we included family, friends, social support, and then also faith, which we connected to Ikigai, and then also Moai. And then we went back to our planetary health on our first week, and we included ocean health, and we were talking about all the algae blooms, reciprocity, nature, the built-in environment, and also the soil microbiome. And then we also included a branch for Eastern medicine, which we learned a lot about this week, TCM, connected that with Ayurveda, and also included kind of more preventative strategies.
And so then we went into mind body after that. Obviously there's a lot of overlap with TCM, nutrition, and community and other things. So on there we had Qigong and Tai Chi. We had the myofascial release / physical therapy and occupational therapy, music therapy and sound healing. And then also yoga, acupuncture, acupressure, meditation, and that was the mind body. So for rejuvenation, we have restorative yoga that we did, as well as nidra, and then sleep, essential oils, and Reiki that we experienced the other day. We didn't have enough room to fit it all in here, but we also wanted to add reflection and journaling to that, and gratitude.
And for our last branch of nutrition, we had the macronutrients, micronutrients, the importance of color and variety in a diet, the effect that has on the microbiome, the different roots of things like the Mediterranean diet, as well as the importance of things including like fungi and herbs and spices.
And fasting.
And fasting.
We would like to introduce you to our mind map of what is integrative healthcare. So integrative healthcare is kind of a subspecialty of what we know as conventional Western medicine, but we think that there are like some underlying kind of like philosophical thematic themes that go into this medicine, which includes gratitude, hope, open-mindedness, and really imagination. So the first outpouching that we thought of was planetary health and environmental health, and that basically includes a lot of reciprocity with us and the planet, because if our planet is healthy, then we get that energy and we can have health too. We put nature walk, a sense of spirituality with a connection to kind of like the greater planet overall, and from that we thought of ceremony, ritual, and prayer from whatever form of faith that may be. We mentioned braiding sweet grass because we learned a lot about kind of like that sense of connection with plants, and particularly environmental sustainability, and the further connection with the plant talk. And then the planet also gives us a form of nutrition, not only like spiritually but also physically, which brings us to nutrition.
So under nutrition, some of the many things that we wrote that we had discussed in our month here. We just wrote fiber because that's so important and people generally don't get enough of it. Herbs and spices, we talked about how much those can add to a diet. Juices, we just discussed how juicing, although it can decrease the fiber intake, it can also kind of maximize nutrients. We talked about smoothies, trying to get at least 30 different plant products a week, the importance of your microbiome, the goal of eating the rainbow, always aiming to eat the whole foods, intermittent fasting, or just any element of fasting really that you're interested in, trying to follow a Mediterranean diet, overall just balance. It's just balancing like the 80-20 rule that we've discussed. Doing your best 80% of the time and sometimes not. Also supplements, integrating those into your diet depending on what you might be lacking. And then, I guess, do you want to talk about it?
We said we can next go to the mind-body connection of integrative health, and so for that, We have a lot of different strategies and techniques we learned, including acupuncture, physical therapy, biofeedback, movement, and under movement there's a lot of categories too, including Qigong, Tai Chi, myofascial release, and we also have some meditation. We also thought an important part of the mind-body part was also mind with the reflection, and then another way of reflecting is journaling. And then one part that we really loved learning during this course was the marma therapy, like kind of self-care. So that included gua sha, acupressure, massage, also essential oils, and then some other like more alternative methods of mind-body include psychedelics that we mentioned too. And then there's a lot of overlap too between mind-body and restore and rejuvenation. I can just finish that off. So like some examples are Qigong, sleep, yoga, different types of yoga too, including yoga nidra, restorative yoga. We learned about sound therapy, where that really connects what you're hearing to how you're feeling. Also I forgot on the mind-body, ASMR, so sex, and then in the restore and rejuvenate and also mind-body is Reiki, which we learned about yesterday. Music therapy, and then you want to go.
Yeah, and then on the bottom we kind of like imagine this like hugging the entire mind back, that it's all evidence-based, approaching it with a healthy skepticism, and then giving our patients the time to hear their histories to see how we can best implement these complementary practices to their conventional medicine approaches.
I promise, on my conscience and honor, to carry out, according to my ability and judgment, the following. To heal my patients to the best of my ability by educating and empowering them to make the best choices to support their health. I will explore all avenues, including diet, lifestyle, medications, social and natural remedies, prior to taking more invasive and costly approaches in an attempt to do no harm. I will prioritize patient autonomy over my own beliefs while collaborating to ensure joint decision-making. I promise to stay up to date on new evidence-based medicine and healing modalities to provide the best known practices for my patients. I will serve as my patient's advocate. As a provider, I will not discriminate, recognizing that healthcare is a human right. I will remain aware of my own biases and mitigate them to the best of my ability. I will not be profit-driven, and I will address barriers to accessing healthcare. Lastly, I will recognize my own limitations. I will not forget to nurture my own physical and mental well-being, just as I won't for others. I will acknowledge my mistakes and use them as opportunities to learn. I will cherish this promise for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Hippocratic Oath Next Gen Edition. To uphold your dignity, we pledge to teach you about your health, to empower you to make your own decisions, and to inspire you to live well. To offer our best selves, we pledge to put our health first so that we may better serve you, and to always continue learning while maintaining a healthy amount of skepticism. To foster collaboration and mutuality, we pledge to humbly ask our colleagues for advice and help whenever necessary, and to always keep an open mind, considering integrative approaches whenever we can. To care for all, we pledge to focus on providing equitable care, working harder to reach those who are often left behind, and to treat everyone with kindness and respect. We pledge to carry out this oath with gratitude for our patients, profession, and colleagues.